In the last lesson, we added an isFavorite attribute to our app idea, which we can toggle through this swipe action here. And then we also added a favorites section in our list. We also enabled app groups for our main app. So today we can start implementing a widget that takes these app ideas, displays them on the home screen, and then lets the user tap on an app idea to toggle whether it is a favorite or not. So for that, let's get started by going to File, New Target, and looking for widget extension. And I'll just call this App Ideas Widgets. And we don't need to include a live activity or a configuration intent. I will just click on Finish, and then Xcode will generate that new scheme, and I will activate the scheme. Okay, so in here we just generated this folder. We have our widgets bundle, which is a widget bundle. And then we also have our app ideas widgets file, which contains our timeline provider, our timeline entry, our widget entry view, and our app ideas widget, which is the actual widget. And then we also have a preview down here, which we will probably not be using for the development of this widget. So first of all, I need to make sure that our SwiftData structs or our SwiftData model class, which is called app idea, I will have to make sure that that is part of our widget extension target. Otherwise, we will not be able to access this model class in our widget extension. But with that being set up, we are now able to use our app idea class in our widget extension. So first of all, in the extension, let's import SwiftData. There's one thing to note here. In between lesson 3 and lesson 4, beta 3 of Xcode 15 got released, and I'm using beta 3 right now as we speak and as I'm recording this video. Just so you know, this is running on Xcode 15 beta 3. Alright, so now that we have imported SwiftData, we need to think about how we can load data from SwiftData without using the query property wrapper, because all of these dynamic property wrappers are not supported in widgets as far as I know. And I actually recently made a video about SwiftData with MVVM. I called it SwiftData with MVVM, does it make sense? And in that video, I basically showed you how you can implement a fetch descriptor without using the query property wrapper. So we will use that exact same approach in our widget now. So in our timeline provider, let's create a function, and let me reindent all of this and collapse the things that we don't need right now. So in our timeline provider, let's create a private func, and I will call it getAppIdeas, and make sure that it's spelled correctly. And this will return an array of app idea. So in here, we will create a descriptor, which is a fetch descriptor over our app idea. And we can use, or we can leave this completely empty. So we don't need to pass a predicate and a sort descriptor. If you care about sorting or filtering what you fetch from SwiftData, then you should watch my other SwiftData videos where I explained that in detail. And we actually also, if we go into our content view of the main app, we also have a filter, a sort, and a sort order in our query property wrapper there. If you're interested in how that works with a fetch descriptor, as we're doing right here, then you should watch that SwiftData with MVVM video, because I am going over that in there. So we now have our fetch descriptor. What we now need is our model container. And this is a bit interesting because in our main app, we get that using the .model container view modifier or scene modifier on our window group scene here. And we're saying we want the model container for app idea and app feature, but we don't have such a thing in here. So we will say let model container equals a model container for our app idea.self. In our main app, we specified app idea.self and app feature.self, which is just the explicit way of specifying these. In reality, app feature has a relationship with app idea, which enables SwiftData to, just from using app idea.self here, inferring that we also need to create a model container for app feature just because of the relationship that exists there. And we can have a look at that real quick in our model definition here. So we defined a relationship var features, which is just an array of app feature. So because we have that in place, we actually only need to explicitly say we want the model container for app idea.self. This is a failable initializer, so we will have to try to do this, and I will optionally try, and I will say guard let model container is this, else I will just return an empty array of app ideas. All right, so I think this is a good solution for now. In your main app, you might want to throw an arrow here and display that to the user in your widget, but I'm not sure if that is actually the best user experience, so you will have to figure that out yourself. In this video, we will just return an empty array because it's convenient to implement, really. And then here we can say let app ideas equals our model container dot main context dot fetch our descriptor. So this is also failable, so I will also optionally try this. All of this needs to happen on the main thread, so we can annotate this function with @main_actor to make sure that it always happens on the main thread, since we are using the main context here. But now this app ideas array is optional, so we could either optionally or nil coalesce this to an empty array, or just return app ideas and nil coalesce in here into an empty array. So this way we now have a function called getAppIdeas, which returns us an array of app idea. Now we want to actually pass those ideas into our widget, and we will use the simple entry for that. We don't care about this pre-generated emoji thing, so we can get rid of that. And I will just call this instead let app ideas be an array of app idea. Now, of course, we will have a bunch of errors in here. So first of all, let's fix the preview, and we will just pass an empty array in there for now, since we won't be using the preview to debug this right now, but in your main app, you might throw some dummy data in there, some dummy app ideas. And let me also fix everything in the timeline provider. And then, of course, the view will also not work because it's accessing the entry.emoji. So we can just get rid of that. We don't care about it. And we can also actually get rid of the time. We don't care about that either. All right, so now we have our function to get app ideas. So now let's go through our timeline provider and make sure to actually use this function. So everywhere where we have the simple entry, we can now just call getAppIdeas, and we have to make sure that we mark this function as a main actor as well, just because getAppIdeas needs to run on the main thread. So we can do the same thing for the other two functions, so getSnapshot and getTimeline, and in here we can say getAppIdeas, and then in here we can also say getAppIdeas. This timeline is actually a bit complex, so I think I will make it a bit easier. We can get rid of all of this stuff in here. All right, that looks good. And now in our timeline, we will just make the entry just a single entry, and the refresh policy will be after now advanced by 1 minute times 5. So every 5 minutes, this will now refresh, and the entry date is the date of when this function gets called. Now we can't quite run this yet because we declare the app idea as being in our widget target, but we actually also need to declare the app feature as being in our widget target. So with that in place, it would now build. So the build succeeded, but we're not showing any data in our widget yet. So to fix that, in our widget, we now have a vstack, which was already there before, and we can now create a for each over the entry.appideas and get an idea in. And then for each of these entries, we could, for example, now add a text showing the idea.name, which is our attribute up here. So we can say idea.name. And let's actually wrap that in an edge stack, push that to the trailing edge, and in front we will add an image, system name, and this will be depending on whether it is a favorite. And if it is a favorite, we will say star.fill. Otherwise, we will just say star. And we might also give this a foreground style of yellow. So if we were to run this now in the simulator, we would not see any data because our widget extension does not use the app group right now. So let's add the app group entitlement to the widget extension next. So in our widget extension here, let's add the app group capability and let's select the correct app group identifier. Let's refresh that just to make sure it is correctly set up. So now with all of that in place, we should be able to run the widget extension now and then see our workout tracker and Vision Pro AR Explorer in our widget. So let's give that a run and see how it goes. And as you can see, we now have our App Ideas Manager widget down here on our home screen. It's a not the nicest design you have ever seen, but it works for now. And as you can actually see, the auto-generated widget struct in here has a very interesting setup. So I will actually make that a bit easier in here. This is handling iOS 17 and iOS 16. We're only building for iOS 17, so let's get rid of all of that. And for the background, I will just use the background color for a widget. So let's run that again just to make sure we have the correct setup. All right, and that looks a bit nicer without the tertiary background color. And as you can see, we now have our list of app ideas, and there's actually the dummy idea too, which we archived in one of the past lessons. So we're not filtering for unarchived app ideas right now. So let's perhaps fix that in our fetch descriptor. So let's add a predicate, and I will call this one idea in here. And let's get rid of one of these parentheses. And then in here we can say is archived is false. So now we're only fetching those app ideas that are not archived. And once the widget has reloaded, you will notice that we only have the 2 app ideas in there that we can also see in the main app because they are not archived. And you will also notice that the favorited one, which is Workout Tracker, does have a filled star, and the one that's not favorited has a non-filled star. So in the next lesson, we will build an app intent and enable interactive widgets here so the user can tap on one of these 2 app ideas to toggle whether they are a favorite app idea or not. Do you want to actually track your app ideas? Check out Launch Buddy with the link in the pinned comment and video description. It's completely free to get started and makes sure you actually work on your app ideas.